Hi, I'm Nicole and I'm with Brand New Health Center. What I'm going to show you today are the top 5 exercises that I like to do at home to get ready for spring and summer, less clothes in this type of weather, so want to make sure we're feeling good, fit, and these are easy things that you can do. I'll talk to you about how you can build up. We'll do some modifications for some of them. We'll also talk about how to increase your rep and strength as you're progressing. So let's go. First exercise is one of my favorites because it really works your legs as well as your core, and that is a squat. So with a squat, you can want to do either feet hip width apart, or you can go a little bit wider as well. For me, I always like to start with hip width apart, and all you simply do is pretend you're sitting in a chair. So you're going to go down and hold and come back up. And again, down and hold and come back up. So for me, one thing I like to do is just do 5 squats here and there. I mean, you can do that as part of when you're going to exercise, but also throughout the day. So even when I'm taking a break at work, going to refill my water bottle or fill up my coffee, I will simply just quickly do 5 squats. And if you do that throughout the day, before the end of the day, you might have accumulated, 15, 20, even up to 100 squats, which is really, again, going to strengthen your legs, tone your legs, as well as when you're doing the squat, you want to make sure that you're also concentrating on your core being tight. So again, down, hold, and back up. Okay, second exercise that I'm going to show you is also another one of my favorites for more of the upper body, but again, this exercise really works your core as well, and that is a push-up. So with the push-up, there's a few different ways you can modify it. Especially if you are newer to doing upper body exercise or really just need to build that up. So you can do push-ups against the wall, but what I'm going to show you here is more of the traditional route as well as modifications with the traditional on the ground. So with the push-up, starting with the most traditional, what you want to do is make sure that your shoulders are above your hands, and your hands can either be directly underneath your shoulder or slightly wider. I will start here. Now when you go up into the plank, you want to make sure that your stomach is tight and that your rear isn't up in the air like this, nor you're sagging down like this, because that'll put pressure on your lower back. So when you go down, you hold and up. And you go down, hold, and up. So with that, if you're not quite ready to do that, you can modify. So for me personally, as I get higher into my reps of doing that, I will switch to doing on my knees at times, and the same thing where you want to make sure your shoulders are above your hands, and you go down, hold, and back up, down, hold, and back up. Or if you're not even quite ready for that, even simply just holding right here will work to develop the chest muscles and the arms and the shoulders to build up to doing push-ups. Okay, so for the third exercise here, it's actually kind of a strength and a stretch. But what this is simply holding up your arms like this and then tightening your back muscles. So you can see here when I put my arms up, you can see when I tighten, I'm really concentrating on pulling my shoulders back. This is really, really important for all of us nowadays because we have a tendency to be sitting at computers or on our phones and our shoulders are rolling forward. So it's a body exercise where you're consciously thinking about pulling your shoulders back and down, and putting your arms up like this really helps with that. So you hold, and you can hold from 5 seconds, 10 seconds, and just tightening your body or your back and your core here is going to help with strengthening those back muscles. Okay, so for anyone like me likes to wear tank tops or sleeveless shirts in the summertime, we want to, really tone those shoulders. Well, we're going to go back old school. And to do that without any equipment, you can do this at home, is doing arm circles, and you can do backwards, or you can switch it up and go forwards, or just simply raising your arms. Now, this would be a high repetition type of exercise where you're going to be just burning out, exhausting those muscles, and over time you'll see more definition come into play there. So again, just simply circling your arms like this for a period of time. You can set a timer on your phone, you could do it during commercials, while you're watching TV, or while you're waiting on something to cook or your coffee to be made. You can be doing this. And again, core component, you're going to be tightening your core as well, so you'll be naturally strengthening in that area. So fifth and final exercise that I would recommend for the springtime summer toning is ab work. So as I've said throughout the other exercises, all of them do have a component of your core. Your core is really important. It's not just your stomach, but it's also the core muscles back here as well. It makes you stabilized in all activities of life. So burning out the core is really going to come down to either sit-ups, which you can do obviously on the ground, or even just simply crunching from a standing position is going to be working those muscles. But for me, what I like to go to is the traditional plank, where you're really going to be concentrating on pulling your belly button, think of it toward your spine. So really concentrating on pulling that in. And so down here with the plank, I'll show you, you can do it either like with the push-ups we showed earlier, holding this here. But for me, I really like to go down on my elbows like this. And again, we don't want to be up here with our booties, and we don't want to be down here hurting our back. So right in the neutral position, and you're going to hold, thinking about that belly button going in. And you can start off with 10 seconds, you can build up. Personally, I don't ever go over a minute because at that point I feel like I'm compromising my shoulders, potentially my back, so I will do a minute, take a break, and if you want to continue burning that out, then I'll add on additional intervals as well. So final thoughts. I hope that you try these exercises. Again, start off with just a few reps here and there, kind of get a gauge of how you're feeling and build upon it, whether you're doing little intervals throughout the day to build upon it or doing sets in a row for a period of time. But over time, I think you'll find that you're really developing that core body strength, which then we can build upon later when we add additional weights or things like that. So subscribe to my channel and learn other ways that we're going to get in shape for the summer.